Running back is one of the toughest gigs in all of football. The average career is short and the hits add up fast. But these players, well, they just had one magical year where everything clicked, rushing yards piled up, touchdowns flowed, and they looked absolutely unstoppable. We're talking Pro Bowls, record-breaking games, and even Super Bowl runs. Yet, for whatever reason, they just couldn't sustain it. Whether it was injuries, bad luck, or just the brutal nature of the position, these guys were banished quickly into obscurity. So, without further ado, here are 10 NFL running backs who burned out after one epic season. Number 10, Ajayi. Starting out our list is Ajayi, a guy who exploded onto the scene like a freight train but derailed just as quickly. Drafted in the 5th round by the Miami Dolphins in 2015, Ajayi spent his rookie year mostly on the bench, scraping together less than 200 rushing yards. But 2016, well, that was his epic season. After a slow start, he caught fire mid-year, becoming only the 4th player in NFL history to rush for over 200 yards in back-to-back weeks. Against the Steelers and Bills, he torched defenses for 204 and 206 yards respectively. By season's end, Ajayi racked up 1,272 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns, and averaged 4.9 yards per carry. He added 151 receiving yards for good measure, proving that he was a dual-threat beast. Fans were pretty hyped. This looked like the start of something very special for Miami. But then, the wheels came off. Midway through 2017, the Dolphins traded him to the Philadelphia Eagles, where he contributed to their Super Bowl run, but in a reduced role. With just 408 yards that year, knee issues that had plagued him since, well, college began to flare up, thus limiting his explosiveness. In 2018, he managed only 184 yards in 4 games before an ACL tear ended his season. Released by Philly, Ajayi bounced around tryouts but was out of the league by age 27. His 2016 breakout accounted for nearly half of his career rushing yards. Just a classic case of injury woes and team instability turning a star into a what-if story. Number 9, Lamont Jordan. A backup who finally got his shot and made the most of it. Until he didn't. Jordan spent his first 4 years with the New York Jets, mostly riding the pine behind Curtis Martin, never topping 300 rushing yards in the season. But in 2005, he signed a big money deal with the Oakland Raiders and became their featured back. That year was pure magic. 14 games, Jordan rushed for 1,025 yards and 9 touchdowns, averaging 3.8 yards per carry. What set him apart was his receiving prowess. He led all running backs with 70 catches for 563 yards and 2 more scores. That is over 1,500 total yards from scrimmage. He was a dynamic every-down player, punishing defenders and keeping chains moving. Sadly, the heavy workload took its toll. Injuries began to pile up. Back, knee, you name it. And Jordan's burst just vanished. In 2006, he managed just 434 yards, and by 2007, he was splitting carries and dealing with more ailments. He bounced to the Patriots and Broncos, but he never eclipsed 600 rushing yards again. Retiring after 2009, Jordan's career total of 3,734 yards is solid, but over 40% of them came in that one epic Raiders season. A reminder of how the RB position chews up even the toughest guys. Oh man, if only he had stayed healthy. Number 8, Spencer Ware. Late bloomer who seized his moment with the Chiefs but just couldn't hold on. Drafted in the 6th round by the Seahawks in 2013, Ware barely saw the field early on, bouncing to Kansas City's practice squad. But in 2016, with Jamal Charles sidelined, Ware stepped up as the lead back, and in 14 games he rushed for 921 yards and 3 touchdowns, averaging 4.3 yards per carry. Add in 447 receiving yards and 2 more scores, and you've got nearly 1,400 total yards. He was physical, versatile, and a key part of Andy Reid's offense, helping the Chiefs make the playoffs. Then, disaster struck. In the 2017 preseason, Ware tore his PCL and LCL, missing the entire year. When he returned in 2018, he was a backup to Kareem Hunt and later Damian Williams, managing just 246 yards. Released after 2019, Ware had a brief stint with the Bears, but was completely done by 2020. That 2016 season was his only time as a starter, accounting for over half of his career production. Injuries are a running back's worst enemy, and Ware's story shows how one bad hit can end one's dreams. Number 7, Landis Gary. A classic Broncos one-year wonder in the Mike Shanahan era. A 4th-round pick in 1999, Gary was thrust into the spotlight when Terrell Davis went down with a season-ending injury in Week 4. The rookie didn't miss a beat, starting the next 12 games and rushing for 1,159 yards with 7 touchdowns, averaging 4.2 yards per carry. He added 159 receiving yards, totaling over 1,300 scrimmage yards. His tough running style helped keep Denver competitive, and fans thought that they had found Davis's heir. But no, in the first game of 2000, Gary tore his ACL, missing the rest of the year. He returned in 2001, but he just didn't have that same spark, topping out at 384 yards that season. Bouncing between the Broncos and Lions, Gary's career ended after 2003 with just 1,486 total rushing yards, over 75% from that epic 99 campaign. Knee injuries are very brutal, especially for RBs, and Gary's is a textbook example of just how fragile success can be in the NFL. Number 6. Ladell Betts. Drafted by Washington in the second round in 2002, Betts spent his first 4 years as a backup to Clinton Portis, never exceeding 338 rushing yards. But in 2006, with Portis hurt early, Betts became the starter. He delivered big time though, rushing for 1,154 yards and 4 touchdowns at 4.7 yards per carry. With 445 receiving yards and a score, that is over 1,500 total yards in 16 games. It was a career high, well, everything, proving that he could handle the load. After that, Portis returned and Betts went back to backup duty, managing 335 yards in 2007. A knee injury in 2008 limited him even further, and then by 2009, he was with the Saints in a minor role before retiring. That 2006 season made up nearly a third of his career rushing yards. Late bloomers like Betts show how depth charts and health dictate fates in the NFL. Seriously, one epic fill-in role and then boom, back to the shadows. Number 5. Justin Forsett. A 7th-round pick by the Seahawks in 2008, Forsett bounced around 4 teams before landing with the Ravens in 2014 at age 29. With Ray Rice suspended and released, Forsett became the starter and balled out. He rushed for 1,266 yards, nearly double his next best, and 8 touchdowns, averaging 5.4 yards per carry, adding 263 receiving yards. That is over 1,500 total, earning him a Pro Bowl nod. It was a feel-good story of perseverance finally paying off. But in 2015, Forsett suffered a broken arm after 638 yards, and in 2016, he split time before being released mid-season. A brief Lions stint yielded 111 yards, but Forsett retired after that. His epic 2014 season made up for over half of his career production. Age and injuries caught up fast, turning a breakout into a brief flash. Number 4. Steve Slaton. A 3rd-round pick by the Texans in 2008, Slaton led all rookies with 1,282 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns, averaging 4.8 yards per carry. He added 377 receiving yards and a score, totaling nearly 1,700 scrimmage yards. It was a dominant debut, hinting at stardom. Then he added 20 pounds of muscle for 2009, and, well, he lost a significant amount of his burst. Fumbleitis and a neck injury limited him to 437 yards. Released before his rookie deal ended, Slaton had stints with the Dolphins and CFL, but never quite recovered. Over 60% of his career yards came in 2008. Showing off that sometimes changing what works really backfires spectacularly. Number 3. Robert Edwards. A 1st-round pick by the Patriots in 1998, Edwards rushed for 1,115 yards and 9 touchdowns as a rookie, adding 331 receiving yards and 3 scores for over 1,400 total and 12 TDs. He set a record with touchdowns in his first 6 games. Postseason? Well, a freak knee injury in a Pro Bowl beach flag football game nearly cost his leg and kept him out until 2002. With the Dolphins, he rushed for 107 yards in a backup role, and then he played in the CFL. That 98 season was over 70% of his NFL yards. A cautionary tale of off-field risks. Number 2. Icky Woods. Icky Woods, the Shuffle King. A Bengals rookie in 1988, Woods rushed for 1,066 yards, 5.3 YPC NFL lead, and 15 touchdowns, helping reach the Super Bowl. His Icky Shuffle was iconic. However, week 2 of 1989, torn ACL. Never regained form again, rushing for under 500 yards over 3 more years. Man was out of the league by 1992, with his epic year accounting for over 60% of his career production. Knee injuries strike yet again. Number 1. Peyton Hillis. Oh, Peyton Hillis, the Madden curse poster boy. In 2010 with the Browns, Hillis exploded for 1,177 rushing yards, 11 touchdowns, and 477 receiving yards with 2 scores. Over 1,650 total and 13 TDs. Fans voted him Madden 2012's cover. Then the Madden curse struck. Hamstring, strep throat, contract drama. Never played 16 games again, topping 587 yards once. And with that, he was out of the league by 2014. That season was over 50% of his yards. This man went from Madden hero to, well, Madden curse 0. But hey, what running back are you sad to see only have one great season? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then hey, clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.